Cinema Therapy, the podcast for people who know nothing about life, but all about TV and film. I'm Karen.
And I'm Nicole. Congratulations, Karen.
That was so scary.
She's doing the intro for the first time, guys.
Which is why I sounded like I was on a Universal ride or something. One of those actors.
You committed. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I really tried, but that was a good first time. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support.
Oh, anytime.
So this is our second Christmas/holiday episode. You're welcome.
Yes.
A lot going on this month in December. A lot of feelings brewing. This episode, I'm very excited to discuss one of my favorite Christmas movies, Home Alone 2. And with that comes the topic of being alone from our family, from our parents, during the holiday season, being in New York, kind of feeling like an orphan, seasonal depression, and a lot of the things that I'm sure a lot of people feel during the holiday season but don't really get to talk about. So yeah, and we have a very special guest today, Erin Johnson. Erin Johnson has been the head elf at Santaland for 5 years.
Wow.
And I'm so excited to have her on with us.
Yes.
Well, how are you, Nicole? How has your week been?
Oh, it's been good. So one of the joys of living in New York is, potentially there might be a leak upstairs, and then, it might be toilet water with fecal matter, and no one will care about it. People will be like, you live in New York, so literally shit should fall on your head. So,
That has never happened. What? To me.
I don't know who I'm talking to. I feel like I'm being very reasonable in the way that I talk to our property management company, but they make me feel like I'm asking for too much when I'm like, we need hot water, to wash. And they're like, oh, well, it's after hours, so deal with that on Tuesday. And I'm like,
oh my God, it's winter time.
Exactly. This is not okay. I need to be reading up on New York housing laws. That's what this whole experience has taught me. I need to just be up on it. Maybe I just need to take the friggin' New York bar so I can, be ready with the memos. Per statute 1 blah, 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 you need to stop this shit from falling on my head. So
your experience sounds like you're living in New York in the 80s and
right?
St. Mark's with artist housing. What's going on?
I don't.
You live in a very nice apartment.
I don't understand because I'm really happy with the neighborhood. I feel like the apartment itself is really nice. There's a lot of cute little characteristics. I like the fact that I can tell that the building was done in 1910, I appreciate all that historic shit. What I don't appreciate is my property manager, not at least, manage my fucking feelings, really. I've worked in so many customer service type roles now that, when people cannot manage how I feel and just, make me feel better about a situation, even if they can't actually give me a solution, I find that unacceptable. The fact that she was just we're after hours, so it happens when it happens. If the ceiling is falling in, then we can send someone out. But I was just can you do something about the fact that we've been living with this situation for 3 days, and you've just confirmed it was toilet water, which is what we thought it was.
Oh my gosh.
Can you, make, all I asked is, can you come up with something so I can feel better about this? And she's like, bitch, no. And I was like, okay. I realize who I'm dealing with now. So that's how I'm feeling.
For me, it's the hot water. That's insane.
I know. And, Dave, with the hot water, I was trying to be really chill about it. And I was like, I understand that the super has days off. I don't know how much he's being paid. I want to be respectful of that. But Dave has no time for any of this. He's trying to knock down all the friggin' doors. No. I pay very good money to live in not a trash house. Take care of me.
So dramatic.
Karen, how are you feeling?
Well, I'm fine.
Oh my gosh. Please don't eat on the air.
I'm stuffing my face with McDonald's hot fudge sundae and fries and coffee. That is what that So for anyone who's like a little grossed out, that's what that is. It's been a week. It's been a month. I mean, I feel like week after week, it's the same thing with me. Oh, I'm tired. I'm sad.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this week, I've had it.
Yeah.
I learned something a few days ago called energy hygiene.
Ooh, yes, I love this term.
Yeah.
Tell me, Karen, what's this mean?
Well, it's basically just like the responsibility of taking care of the energy that you put out in the world, as well as the energy that you surround yourself with, and making more of an effort and just being more mindful of your energy and the energy around you. And I don't know, because it's Christmas time and it's because it's the holidays. There's so much happening, and so many people want to like meet up, or so many people just want to like do things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard for me. I think a few weeks ago I was like worried about being alone during the holidays, and I feel like now I prefer it. I'm like looking forward to just alone time with myself, because I don't have the time to be fake around people. And so that's just how I'm feeling. But it's a lot.
I mean, I get that, because there is a balance there. You go through your Kevin McAllister where you're like, oh, I don't need any of these fucking people. I need to be alone.
Yeah, Kevin McAllister feels very like misunderstood, I think.
I feel like a lot of people related to him as a child. I think like now we look back on it and like, oh, we might have passed a little bit of judgment. But as a kid, like, he experienced a lot of unfairness, which I think we can all we all understand, especially as a child. Like when you go to your mom and like, this is what happened, and she's not even having she can't hear all that you're saying because she got a lot of other things to tend to, and she doesn't have to hear about like the gripes of a 3-year-old or whatever. You feel like you're not being heard, and it's frustrating. So like I get a lot of the things that like motivate this character. Like people do treat him unfairly. We're going into the Home Alone talk already, but like we're going into the Home Alone talk already. But it's so real. Like sometimes you just feel like people aren't like, they don't understand what your needs are, and you need to be very careful and like be protecting yourself, because like who else is going to do it for you? Who else is going to advocate for you? I do feel like you are one to like, you try to make people happy. Like when people are like, oh, Karen, like come to this thing that's going to be really cool. And like, Karen, we'd really appreciate if you were at this thing and like supported whatever. And you're like, of course, I would love to be at all the things because I love you all. And then you get to a point where you've expended all this energy, and then you're like, what do I have for me now? And like, that's just rough.
Yeah. I think it's more about like, it's like the season of giving. Like there's like this like, people say that it's like the season to give and be generous, but it's like, what if I have nothing to give anymore? I literally have nothing else to give.
Yeah.
And I feel like, who's giving to me?
Right. You gotta make sure that you don't get to that point. Like, no, you're not. I mean, people will judge you like they judged Kevin and be like, who's this bratty ass kid? But they're just getting a small bit of you, all right? Like, if they understood all the elements of what was going on, then they would not call you a brat. Maybe they would. Who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter. But I get how you feeling, girl. Do we want to talk about...
Yeah, we do want to talk about Home Alone.
Let's talk about Home Alone. Home Alone 2. Let's bring out that McAllister clip.
It's literally just the scream.
Okay, guys. As you can tell from that clip, we're talking about Home Alone 2.
Yes, that's how I feel, though.
Let's introduce our guest.
Our guest today?
Yes, our guest today. Not yesterday. Our guest today. Oh.
is the lovely Erin Johnson. Erin Johnson is a singer, actress, performer, my favorite Southern belle, and officially my queen of Christmas. We are here today to discuss Erin's experience as head elf at Santaland for the past 5 years, Erin.
Yes, that is right.
Erin, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be here and talk about the holiday madness with y'all.
Oh, the madness, yes. Well, we're talking about Home Alone 2.
Yes.
How do you feel about it? What are some of your favorite holiday movies?
Oof, girl. Well, my favorite holiday movie is The Holiday. It's actually my second favorite movie in general, besides Legally Blonde. The Holiday just wins. Because the last episode when you were talking about Love Actually, that's the way I feel about The Holiday. Like, it's something that I can have on at any time. Like, my roommates and I would watch Kate Winslet's one monologue, just we would come home and fast forward to the end of that movie and just watch that over and over again, because it's really from a female's point of view of love and the stress of love and having someone around the holidays, why it feels amplified,
But also
at that time.
an adult perspective.
Yeah.
Right.
I noticed that a lot of my favorite Christmas movies are from a child's
Right.
perspective.
No, that's true.
I feel what does that say about me? You know what I mean? But yeah, we didn't even discuss the holiday, and it's very much a
I love it.
I don't have very much to say about it. I don't really like it very much. That might be why. No, because I remember when people started telling me to watch it, they were like, "Oh my God, it's so amazing! If you love Love Actually, you'll love this." And I saw it, and I don't know, maybe I need to rewatch it. It takes a few rewatches of a movie I don't like for me to understand why I don't like it. But it's hard to be motivated to watch it that many times when I dislike it.
Yeah, that's
But-
a lot of time.
Right. I did feel I don't know. Why didn't I like it? It just felt really long, and I didn't care about these people. I think that's where, and I was confused by why they did this. Why did you both have very nice houses? And I don't know. I have to watch it again. I'm not a good person to ask at this point.
I feel like a line that stuck out to me, I don't even remember when it came out, but it was a long time ago, and he's telling her that you should be the leading lady in your own life, and I remember that really resonated with me at the time, which is weird.
got you.
Yeah, now I feel of course I'm the leading lady of my own life,
Yeah,
but
who else
I
would
guess
it be?
when this movie came out, maybe I didn't feel that way,
Is
that I
that
was
where that
someone's
line is from?
co-star.
I feel like I've seen it on makeup bags or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a very
I
well-known
don't
line.
know if they wrote that line, or because it was Eli Wallach that said it, so that could have been from, because he's an old famous
Right.
dude, so it could have been a line from another movie he was quoting.
Right. Well, I wanted to talk specifically about Home Alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Home Alone 2.
Mhm.
And this episode is called My Family is in Florida and I'm in New York. And I feel like at 30 years old, I think it's a little ridiculous that I'm turning to this film during the holidays, but I feel like it has resonated with me more than ever.
Mhm.
And yeah. Do you like this movie, Nicole? I feel like you really don't.
So, okay, I watched this very, very recently, guys. I don't know what happened to my childhood. I don't know how I missed this movie, but I just did. I remember watching Home Alone 3 with Scarlett,
No.
it's Scarlett
Come on.
Johansson,
I don't
right?
even remember that
I
one.
didn't even see that one.
Yeah, that's the one I
That's
remember.
my
Yeah, I don't know what happened to my childhood. I watched it recently though, and it is very nice. I think what I enjoy most about it is now that I'm, in New York City and experiencing in the holidays, they really do take that tour of New York City. And the themes in it are are sweet. Like it's very much, you know, a very true sequel. Like they repeat a lot of the same themes. The idea that like he, you know, has this frustration with his family, but also feels this very strong love for them. Like, you know, we all can relate to that. So as a kid, of course, it's really fun to see a kid like, you know, pull off hijinks. Like, I remember being young and being like, why can't I pull off any shit like this? I just want to be able, like, I want to just be able to like, get the better of my teachers or something, like when they, you know, misjudge me or do something wrong to me. So I can see like why people enjoy it. I guess like for me, I don't have that nostalgia tie like a lot of other people do. Like they really appreciate, you know, just going back to how they felt as a kid and watching this with their family. I don't really have that feeling. But watching as an adult, like I have so many like issues that like that came up as I was watching it.
What issues?
I mean, like, not like, you know, I need to, like, write a manifesto or anything, but enough that I can talk about it on this podcast. So, you know.
Do tell.
Okay. So, it's low-key Christian propaganda. Kevin, in the first movie, Home Alone 1, he is feeling lost until he suddenly finds himself in the church. And, like, the songs are, like, calling him.
Not even connect.
I think you're very much onto something, but is that not all, like, Christmas is all about low-key?
I mean, yes, but this film definitely has an agenda. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I feel like all the family is, like, lost in, like, the consumerism of it. The fact that, like, they feel this tie to, you know, be together, but, like, not really, like, having that quality time, you know, so much so that they're ignoring each other and, you know, lose whole people while they're traveling. So the fact that, you know, Kevin has to, like, go to church to, like, you know, kind of set himself straight and realize what the next plan is, which is, you know, to create all these hijinks that save his home. I think, like, the home is, like, a symbol for, like, you know, the home for Christ or whatever. But, all right.
Wow.
Also, there's some, like, classism issues here. When Joe Pesci is like, I want that house, he's like, no. After all these issues, like, Kevin McAllister, he put, like, these whole, like, fake bodies to make it seem like there was a party. He, like, closed the door or something, like, the first time they came by, like, so they knew someone was in the house. Like, all these things happened so that they knew they should not go into this house. And Joe Pesci is like, look, I want that house. The first time I saw it, I wanted it. And I'm like, I get that. Because these people, there's three people in this family. And they have this large fucking house that they only really get the full use of during the holiday.
2 families live
there.
They
both live there?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm getting it wrong. My bad. Mistaken. That's a very interesting family. I don't see why families do that very often. Where they like both living in the same home.
Like Full House. It
Yeah.
happens on TV.
Yeah.
Full House does it.
Okay. All right. I'll take that. That's fine. Also, okay, his parents live, like, being in first class the entire time and acting like, okay, we don't have to, like, check on our kid once. Like, they were so comfortable. They were so comfortable. That's rude. All right, I'm done. You can go ahead. Say the things that you like about it.
I mean, for me, it's just like, specifically with the second one, you know, he's in New York City. He's excited to be in a city that's as magical as NYC, and because he wasn't excited about spending Christmas in a tropical place like Florida, Miami, Florida. And it's, like, exciting to go with him on this journey of, like, the autonomy of, like, oh, I'm alone and I'm independent. I don't need my family. I can give myself my own Merry Christmas, you know, as a singular person.
Yeah, he needed to find his way to be alone because his family was fucking annoying. I was really upset.
Oh my gosh.
I was really upset after his Buzz ruined his little nephew's solo. Okay.
Buzz is the worst.
So he ruins his solo, and everyone's like, ha ha ha, really funny. And then Kevin pushes him, rightfully so, and then when Buzz gives, like, a fake apology, then he, like, whispers something in his ear.
You little beat that.
Yeah.
Sniffer.
Yeah. I love
Love that.
I love that insult. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
And then his, like, you know, he says, like, why he's not gonna, like, he was so genuine. I love when characters are just real as fuck, and he was just so real. He's like, look, I'm not gonna apologize, because he deserved it. He was an asshole, and he was acting like this was a real apology. He wasn't. He was fucking with all y'all, and you're all eating it up. So I'm gonna stop acting like this is real. Goes up to his room, and then his mom is like, you didn't apologize. Like, bitch, did you hear all the things that I just said?
That's exactly what he was gonna say to her when she came up to him. Exactly how he should have reacted to her.
Maybe you should listen.
But I mean, Erin did bring up, like, a long time ago. She said bad parenting. Like, is that an issue that you might have with this film? Do you think that they're bad parents here? And
so, sorry.
Definitely bad.
Oh,
yeah. Especially in the first movie, I think like it was much more egregious the way that they like really did not pay attention to their son. Like, sorry, like even though like you all apparently live in this whole house, like, sorry I missed that part, guys. But even though you all live in this house, like, that's your child, and you only have one, and you're, like, losing him.
They have 2 children.
He's the only child.
Buzz is his brother.
No, it's not.
Buzz is his brother.
In the first movie, he says, I'm an only child.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
wait,
God.
what?
Yes.
Blew my mind.
Yeah,
They lost
really?
their only child? I thought they had like 11 kids.
So it's like Kevin McAllister, his parents. I thought Buzz was his brother, and then the other family was like they're like 4 children.
Yeah, no, that's the other family's
Oh
kid.
my
Yes.
God!
Oh my gosh! Like, yes, like that's the other family's
Oh
kid.
wow!
Yo, like, so you losing your only child, your only kid. And, like, I can understand, because I feel like whenever I go to family gatherings, the parents are so relieved. They're like, oh, finally, like, someone else can look over my child. And I get that. Like, I'm sure, like, your whole life feels like labor, and finally you get a little bit of a break. But apparently it's not, because they live in this family, like, this whole family where they're able to kind of share the responsibilities, it seems. So, like, how are you not taking care of that kid? Like, with the airport, I can see how that happens. Like, the second movie, I'm like, okay, like, especially since, you know, apparently we did not give a fuck at all about security before 9/11, because, like, you could get on anything. Like,
honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when I'm on a plane, I'm like, am I on the right plane? I think about Home Alone too, and I'm like, am I going to the right city? And I always check with like a stewardess.
Yeah.
Isn't that really bad?
That's really cute.
But yeah, you know what though? I do like this movie because they do learn in the end. The parents do learn, you know, that they were careless, or I could also feel like Kevin might, you know, have a sense of like reckless abandonment and like abandonment issues, which I totally relate to. Which, you know, if you're spending the holidays alone, away from parents, it's like that's, you know, you're bound to have those kinds of feelings. Which is why I feel like, yeah, I can relate to Kevin McAllister. And his parents do learn, because eventually they take their asses to New York City and try to find him. Right?
Yeah, no, they do.
Because a lot of parents, realistically, will not even realize, like, what they're doing to their kids. Like, how their actions of, like, not paying any attention to them is affecting their child.
And they don't, a real thing that a lot of parents, I feel like, have not really embraced until, like, you know, this new agey more parenting of, like, you know, respecting the humanity of their child. But, like, when I was growing up, like, the concept of your parents apologizing to you was completely foreign. Exactly. Even if they really did something that was wrong. Like, they were just like, oh, we're going to ignore that happened. Or they would, like, maybe give you candy or, like, do, like, a trip or something, whatever. Even if they really, like, you can tell the guilt, but they won't apologize.
Right.
And that's such a bad lesson for children to learn, that you're not able to, like, rectify an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, my parents, I've never heard them say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
To anyone.
No,
including
same.
myself. Yeah.
Same. Like, the way my dad used to say I'm sorry was to give me a bag of craisins. Because I used to love my nieces.
Oh my god, your dad has been, you've been discussing like gifts that your father gives you on these like episodes, and they're very interesting presents.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, let's do we want to go into the interview?
Yeah, I do actually. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have here, as you already know, Aaron Johnson. Aaron Johnson, when I Googled Aaron Johnson elf, this article, what is this article from? It is from
The Atlantic.
From the Atlantic. And I'm just gonna read a little snippet of it.
Well, tell us the title of it.
A dispatch from a department store elf in Manhattan. From Jessica Lee Hester.
Yes.
This is an article from December 4th, 2015. Yes. On the Job is a series of conversations with the people who keep neighborhoods running. It's 22 days before Christmas, and the Bloomingdale's department store on 59th Street and Lexington Avenue in Manhattan is already decked in its holiday finest. Speakers pump carols out onto the sidewalk, crowded with pedestrians stop to gawk at the windows. Inside, the whole place smells like cinnamon. In the first floor lobby, ornaments twinkle like giant disco balls over the escalators, ferrying a steady stream of shoppers weighed down by brown bags. On the sixth floor, temporarily wedged between fine china and shiny appliances, is Santaland. Santa sits on a crushed velvet throne set against a noir-inspired panorama of New York City and flanked by two Christmas trees showered with a curtain of mirrors, squares, and rhombuses. They shimmer and twirl and catch the glare from thousands of tiny twinkle lights. Boxes of candy and shrink-wrapped gingerbread houses are stacked on shelves nearby.
Setting the scene, girl.
I know.
Yeah, like I'm there.
I know.
No descriptive.
It's the elf's job to make sure this little wonderland doesn't fall apart. This year, Aaron Johnson is the head elf. When the kids arrive, her name is Sugar Cookie.
I feel like it's an appropriate name. I don't know who named you, but I believe
Myself.
it.
I love
That's
it.
a good name.
I love it. Aaron, thank you so much for being here. I just want to say that I spent Santaland for, I think I had 4 years with you.
Yeah.
And it was such an insane, every year was such an insane experience. And I'm looking back now, and this is the first year in 4 years, 5 years, whatever, that I have not done it. Mm-hmm. I miss it. And I'm feeling, I'm having withdrawals.
Miss it.
Yeah. You kind of miss it?
And then I kind of don't.
What's going on? You're not doing Santaland this year?
I didn't do it this year. It would have been my 6th year. And I just wanted to take it to a place that I don't think they were ready to go to. Because I think it can be so much more than just this take your picture with Santa. Because we experience so many cool moments because adults will come by and see Santa, and if there's nothing going on, I'll be like, come sit on Santa's lap and take a picture or whatever. And he would say, what do you want? And there were so many beautiful moments because as an adult, how often do you get asked, what is it that you really want? And there were just like some great moments where people were saying, that their parents weren't healthy or that they were having a health scare. A lot of like health situations where things like that would come up. And I mean, that's those moments and the kids just like being so excited that they lost it or like lost it in a way where they just start saying crazy stuff that their parents have never heard. They're like, I don't know who this child is. Just like so off the. I mean, I miss those moments because they were really beautiful, but I don't miss like getting yelled at by entitled parents and all that stuff.
But you know what? That response, is just a reminder for me that you were the perfect candidate to be head elf. You know what I mean? Like someone who really cares the way that you do.
I do really care.
You get into so many situations, especially like Christmas related, where you have all of these people obligated or like taking it as a job, and they're just lacking that kind of cheer or like genuine energy that you have for everyone, and I really appreciate that.
It's hard to fix the funk in
Yeah.
retail. Like, if you're not, if
Yeah,
you don't have that
you
energy.
can't.
No.
Yeah. And I feel like, too, I mean, people come with this idea of they want the perfect picture, and we really had to set the atmosphere of, you know, take your time with Santa. Like, there's no rush, there's no timeline here, and I think that really changes people's experience, where most things are just like, go, go, go.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I listened to David Sedaris's Santaland Diaries for the first time, which is great if anyone hasn't listened to it. But he does mention that everyone is a different kind of elf. You were head elf.
Yes.
But what other elf would you identify as?
What do you mean?
Well, for me, for example, I always considered myself like the photo elf. Like, I loved taking the photos.
Yes.
That was my favorite position.
Yes.
I didn't really have to interact with the parent.
You were so good at that. It would be an awful photo. And Karen was like, I think it's great.
What
you have to tell people.
When she says that it's awful, what she means is that they're crying. Her child is crying.
Yeah.
And those are the best ones.
No, they are the best
Yeah,
ones. But it's just so funny to, like, you're looking at the photo screen and the kid is screaming. Karen is just so calm and talking to the parents like, I think this is beautiful.
Oh my God, you are the perfect photo elf. You are good at, like, calming down other people. Like, you're really good at it.
At the end of the day, like, their parents, like, a lot of parents don't like the crying ones, which is
Right.
Because they want it to look perfect.
Yes, it's this idea of perfect that ruins things. Because the crying ones are the ones where they're actually talking to Santa. It's like an action shot. Those are beautiful, like perfect, precious moment. They are beautiful.
Yeah.
But then that's not the one they want to like put on their Christmas card for grandma. You know?
Yeah.
But it's the one that when their kids grow up, they're going to be like, look how fucking hilarious I was.
Yeah. Those are the ones that are going to be on Instagram. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Put on Instagram.
Oh my God, Eva Chen, is it Eva Chen or Ava Chen?
I think it's
Ava. I don't know, but she is the best. She would come on press day every year. She works for like Instagram or Facebook. Instagram celebrity.
Yes.
But she was the best because her daughter, I guess too, now I follow them, is still terrified of Santa.
Oh my God.
And she always posts those pictures. And it's so funny. Of just like the whole family like trying to hold it together and her daughter screaming. And it's just accepting what it is. That's the reality of it. You know?
Yeah. It's nice when you have parents who are realistic about it and not like with this weird obsession of getting like the perfect picture.
Yeah.
Like you would find a lot of parents that would complain about their children looking fat. Not even children, their babies looking fat.
Yes.
Like that's a baby and you're
that's depressing.
You're sad that your baby looks fat.
That really happened a lot last year.
Yeah.
That like also just the attitude of people in general affected like not wanting to do it again. That because last year I really felt the body shaming of children more so than ever before. It was insane.
I'm mystified. Like really?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Babies aren't cute unless they are fat. Like,
absolutely. Or like, you know, they would complain that, oh, I don't like her smile. I don't like their smile.
Yeah, just like nitpicking appearance things, like to the point where we feel uncomfortable, you know?
Yeah. Like I'm gonna be really judgmental because I am. Like I'm gonna look at photos. I'm gonna be like, I don't like it, but I'm not gonna tell anybody. I'm gonna be like, okay, I wasted an hour of my life. I'm never doing this again. Yeah. Like I just feel like that's a bad energy to like put on your kids because your kids are going to feel like they did something wrong. Like, they didn't do anything wrong. They acted like a child, and a child doesn't know how to look perfect in a picture. That's not their job. Yeah. So, like, let them have this little experience if you think it's going to be beneficial for them. But if you want the perfect picture, you better just get a studio and do 300 pictures.
Right. No, it's true.
Yeah. But I feel like you, Erin, you were so good at, like, talking to both the parents. Like, you knew how to talk to the parents and to the children, where everyone felt comfortable. Like, you really made a great experience for everyone of every age.
Thanks, girl. Well, I mean, you asked what other kind of elf I would be. I, like, loved sitting on the floor with the kids in line and talking to them about what they were going to ask Santa for Christmas or, like, what they were doing for the holiday. Just, like, having that time. I was that elf. I
That's
don't even
so
know what that was.
sweet.
The elf that just
That
talks
is
to
head
the
elf,
children.
ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. That is the head elf.
Yeah, but it is weird to have this fine line of like pretending like you're an elf and talking with the kids, and then standing up and being like, "So our photo packages are this many pictures for this price.
Exactly.
You don't have to do that. You can just talk to Santa, whatever."
Yeah.
Do you have an elf voice?
No, I don't. I think my voice is weird enough.
Oh my gosh.
Cheerful enough.
Yeah.
You know what though? Erin was singing a lot. We would sing a lot.
We did sing a lot. Yeah.
It was kind of.
No one said we could, but no one
Yeah.
said we couldn't.
Exactly.
I mean,
So
what's
we
a better
did.
way to spread Christmas cheer?
Exactly.
Sing loud for all to hear.
Exactly.
But-
The people loved it.
So behind the scenes, Erin, what are some of the duties of head elf?
Well, honestly, I mean, the boring stuff of like making sure everyone has their outfits and is like in a good mood and scheduled and the money and blah blah blah. But I think for me, it was always just making sure that atmosphere was in place and that Santa was happy, because we had, you know, some great Santas. We had some
100%.
magical Santas, and then there's, you know, normal Santa.
So what does that mean, Erin?
You know, just Santas that are maybe ready to leave right at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a job.
Yeah, exactly. They're not willing to put in the extra magic, you know?
I think I had one Santa like throw something at me. He'd be like, "Excuse me, Karen, Karen," and like I didn't hear him or something. And he's like, Karen, and then he threw something
What
at
did
me.
he throw?
I don't remember. What was it, Erin?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Because it was probably one of those little rubber ducks. We had
Yeah.
like little toys that we give the kids afterwards.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he was very stressed. He was a diva Santa.
Yeah,
he definitely
was.
was.
Diva Santa.
He was also an actor,
Yes.
and so I think he like took it very seriously.
Yes. I
That
think
role.
my favorite Santas were like just the sweet old men. They weren't actors. They weren't like doing other things.
Yeah.
They were just like there to
Because they
spread
really
the
love
joy.
it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You also took good care of us, Erin, as elves.
Thanks.
Because I remember my first year, that was like the year all of the elves pretty much were going through heartbreak
Oh my gosh.
or
nightmare.
relationship transitions. And I remember all of us, we would rotate, like who would go cry in the break room. I spent a lot of my first year
It's
at
true.
Fantasyland just crying in the break room
Yeah,
on the
it's
floor because I was going through a really bad breakup.
Oh.
And you took care of us. And
Well,
you treated
I
us very
understand.
smoothly.
Sometimes I gotta cry in the break room too.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It happens.
What
you
are-
know?
What are some of your favorite moments? Now, you know what? Let's start with the lesser favorite.
The lesser favorite? I mean, by far, is always the last day. The last hour, last day,
Before
always
Christmas.
a nightmare, because everyone just like, not everyone, there were lots of lovely people that came to Salem.
Very
But-
diplomatic.
yes.
I appreciate that.
But there were also a lot of very stressed people that would find out that because we closed on the 23rd, not the 24th.
Oh.
And they would find that out. They would like run up to Santa Land, and they just thought they were the only person in the world,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
And it's frustrating because also, I mean, we had celebrities wait in line. Emily Blunt waited in line with her
John.
kid.
Yeah.
And
Both of them, John. 'cause
for
you've seen Emily
over an
Blunt.
hour. And
So
like,
nice.
happily on a Saturday morning,
Yeah.
didn't ask for anything. But then, like, some mom comes up 5 minutes before we're about to close on the last day screaming at me because
She's been waiting.
no, because she has been waiting, but she just didn't know it was you know, Santa has to see her child right now.
Mm.
No one sounds like that. But just the entitlement of those moments of, there are plenty of people who you say, you know, we're closing, it's our last day, and they say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
wish we could have made it, but, you know,
Yeah.
sorry, and walk away. And So you have those moments, but then you have people who just don't take no for an answer. You know, that no doesn't apply to them. And that just takes me on another level of pissed off.
Yeah, I totally get that. I have worked in so many retail contexts during the holidays.
Yeah.
Not fun, because I do feel like people lose the idea that the universe is not centered around them.
Right.
That there are other people that are also trying to get their holiday and make it the most perfect it can be. But you don't think about that. You think about like your needs, and that's what matters most. So even if you're gonna like treat, you know, an hourly paid employee like their shit, that's fine, because they couldn't get my kids to take a picture with Santa.
Right.
Like, how are they okay with that? That's their life. That's who they are. I'm just like,
yeah, no, that's true.
It's really frustrating. I feel like you saw when you were like losing that joy from like that pure feeling from it, and you were like, okay, this is gonna become just a job for me,
Right.
and that's when I need to like cut off this relationship.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And now you like have to have a reservation to see Santa in a lot of the city. I think probably everywhere now.
Oh, wow.
You have to have a reservation because of moments like that. I think it like got out of hand in general for everyone, just to have people like running up and demanding something. But it's the same way, I guess, as in Home Alone 2 with like the bad parent. But it's really just like being overwhelmed with, and I understand like from their standpoint, they probably have to do like this, and then time got away from them, and they were supposed to get Santa, but like when everyone's in that crazed holiday mode, it's just like not anyone's best at that point, you know?
It's so true. How do you like keep your holiday spirit when you are dealing with these customers who do feel entitled to the perfect holiday? Like, how are you able to deal with that when you're like, I deserve a perfect holiday? Like, how are you able to keep that energy?
I just love Christmas.
Yeah. It's just that pure love.
Yeah, I just always have, and I get to work with my friends too. I mean, that's so helpful. If like anything's going wrong, I would just like take a teddy bear and rub it against Karen's shoulders. And, you know, there's like little things that we could all do for each other to kind of keep all of our spirits up.
So
you know,
good.
yeah,
I
just
love it.
Be silly.
Yeah, we all need to employ that in our lives. Like, one of the things I'm going to talk about another Christmas movie, guys. Sorry. One of the things I love about Elf is that you go to a lot of these, like, mundane places in the city. Like, he goes to, like, you know, not the most famous coffee shop in the world. He goes to some whack coffee shop. He goes to a mailroom. He's working in retail, and you're not seeing, like, the magical part of being in Santa Land. You're seeing, like, how a lot of the employees feel. Like, I'm overworked, I'm stressed, it's holidays, I'm just trying to get through it. And what Buddy is able to bring to all these places is that, like, new childlike wonder. He's able to, like, infuse that lovely energy back, so like people are able to really appreciate where they are. Like, they're like, oh, the mailroom can be fun. Like, we can put on some music and dance. It doesn't have to always be this like humdrum like place where we're just like collecting our check. I think that's so important to bring in our lives, because like sometimes your job is going to be shitty and you can't do anything about it. You just got to work that job because you got other responsibilities. Fine, but there are ways to like manage how you feel while you're doing the job. If it is like listening to a podcast in your break, probably ours because you love us, or whatever it is, like with the teddy bear and like making each other laugh, like you need to do things to like preserve your sanity. You gotta like advocate for your own happiness, because like your job is not going to do it for you. They're not going to try to make you feel better about the way things are going. So that's one of the things I love about that movie.
You were able to watch it. I just yet to.
Yeah, you know, I sucked it up and I rented it. I rented all these movies. I rented Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2. I actually bought Elf because I knew I was going to rewatch it.
Oh,
yeah,
of course.
It's so cute.
Well, we should have a Christmas lightning round.
Yeah.
Our favorite Christmas movies. So we discussed a lot already, but there's so much that we have not discussed.
Okay.
I want to go with A Christmas Story.
Let's do it.
One of my favorites. I feel like A Christmas Story is the complete opposite of Home Alone 2 with the bad parenting. I think those are like a great set of parents.
Yeah.
They're so attentive, they're so loving, and they're very mindful of like teaching their children important lessons in life. I love the dad character. I think he's so loving.
Didn't he wash out his kid's mouth with soap?
The mother did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't love that form of discipline.
Oh.
Yeah, the whole movie's just like so old school though.
Yeah.
I mean, you can like definitely disagree with a lot, but it's just like I see my dad's upbringing. You know, I can just see my dad being one of those kids and like that being his family. It just makes so much sense.
Exactly. But like also just seeing the effort that the parents made to create Christmas for their children. It's just so nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another one that I really love.
I love it too. I actually like watched it for the first time in middle school, and thought it was hilarious. I loved the whole issue with the BB gun. And then he really did shoot himself.
Yeah.
I thought that was amazing.
Try out.
God, what Christmas movies am I loving? I have to say again. Go ahead. Okay.
Christmas in the Smokies. I think.
Oh my
God, you know that one? Yes, it's a really bad one, Nicole.
So bad.
No, it's not bad.
But it's great.
It's so good. I think it's like a Hallmark Christmas movie, right?
Oh yeah, no, you lost me. Go ahead.
It definitely is. I don't know if it aired on Hallmark. I don't know where it aired first, but I saw it on Netflix, and I definitely follow the main character on Instagram.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It's so good though, but it's like what is the premise? I don't even know.
I don't
it's
even
in the
remember.
South.
Yeah, it's in the Smoky Mountain. Are they losing their farm? Or,
Yeah.
You know, just classic Christmas movie.
You know, just
someone's
losing your farm on
losing
Christmas.
something.
Oh,
just
yeah,
really trying to fight
yeah.
for it. You know.
Classic Christmas.
There's always a Scrooge that's taking away the business.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it.
Yeah.
I need to be coming up with Hallmark movies.
So good, and I saw it when I was at at the time, like my boyfriend's family's house for Christmas, which I think is another conversation. Just like going home or like spending Christmas with your significant other's family,
Someone else's home.
Yeah, especially if you're not white and they are. It's so much of a culture shock for me.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that. How does that feel?
Well, I mean, I've spent many a Christmas with many different lovers.
That are white, I know.
I know. I have like so much to choose from. This is gonna be a book, the memoirs, like Christmas with my significant others.
Yeah.
Well, the first one was like in Hudson, upstate. It's just a magical Christmas. Like they didn't have. It's like a family of artists. And they were very disconnected from like technology. Like I didn't even think they had a computer or a phone at the time. And like it's Christmas morning. Like I was given like handmade soap and like they were like making breakfast. Everything was like local and organic. And then the father comes down with this wooden horse that he carved for his daughter that she's been waiting for. Like that she asked for when she was like really young, and it was just such a magical moment, and I'm just like, I have never like experienced anything like this. So that's one.
Okay.
Two, it was in Texas, and it was lovely. I love Texas, and we spent an evening around the fire talking, which is not what I'm used to either. Like
Around the fire is so nice.
Yeah, but like my partner's mother was like actually like having conversation with him and like asking him like, so what's your favorite movie right now? You know what I mean? Like that's weird.
Yeah.
So that's two. And then the third, well, I was in Pennsylvania and I had deer for the first time.
Wow.
I think what is the name for
deer meat?
Yeah.
I think it's deer meat. Yeah.
No, there's something. Venison?
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 What it is?
Yeah, I had venison.
And
it was very interesting. You know, I'm used to like lechon, like fried pig.
Yeah.
And
did it taste gamey?
Very
it had
gamey.
been shot? Yeah.
But they like did all of this work, you know, to prepare this, and it was incredible.
Wow.
And that's from the memoirs.
Dreaming
My lovers.
White people Christmas.
Christmas is my lovers.
Yeah.
Great.
Write that book or that blog. This sounds very interesting, and I really want you to flesh this out, like how it felt. Because I do feel like when you see, maybe this is like feeling like a person of color going into like white spaces. I feel like sometimes like, oh, this is how it was supposed to be done. Like this is what like the whole consumerism was trying to get us to be like this like perfect family who's around the fireplace and like exchanging gifts and like this very like, you know,
and making things.
Yeah, like it just seems very orchestrated, and I don't think like my family did try to they were really good about like the presents thing, and like they tried to act like Santa Claus was a thing, but I knew he wasn't from I no, like you could not get this over on me. Like first of all, in the Santa Claus when he like goes like through the thing like, because I knew, like, we don't have fireplaces in Miami, so I was like, first of all, no, and then they explained it, they're like, oh no, he can shrink in and go through, and I was like, get out of here, Santa Claus.
Santa Claus is so good.
That's a great movie.
We have to rewatch that, actually.
Yeah.
That's really fun. Yeah.
There's 4 of them.
Wait,
Is
what?
there 4?
There's 1. Oh no, maybe there's just 3.
Maybe
Like with
there
Martin
should be
Short.
4.
You're right, Erin. Producer Erin.
Yeah.
Queen of Christmas.
I do like the idea of it because it just like solved the issue. Like how's Santa Claus living for so long? It's like, oh, people keep changing. Like I like that idea. I appreciate that. It was really cool. You know what I think is like, you know, the Christmas fantasy for adults? It's the Best Man holiday, and I might be the only person at this table who's seen it. But that's a mistake, because y'all need to watch it. First of all, you need to watch The Best Man 1, because
see that.
that is some, like, fictional, like, real world TV. Like, it's so much drama. There's so much drama going on. I love it. Like, as a 12-year-old, when I first watched this movie, I was just like...
The Best Man?
Yes, because, like, it was on BET or something. Like, I was able to watch it. And I was just, like... dying out over how much like juicy shit was happening because like this person slept with this person and this person has a crush on this person. Like it was so great. I love that. Yeah, like my little gossipy self was like, yes, give me all the juice. But The Best Man holiday, like they needed to have a sequel because like they ended the first movie with, I'm not going to tell you guys because I don't want to ruin it, but you don't know how these characters are going to end up, like what's going to happen next. So it really was an appropriate sequel, and they're able to get all their friends out to this like beautiful house, and it's like the snow has just fallen. It's I think a upstate New York home, and they're able to like put on musical numbers together and like have like little craft projects and shit, like cooking together. It was so lovely, and I feel like that's the fantasy for so many adults is like getting all their friends to do a vacation together.
Yeah.
So that really just makes me feel good.
So nice.
And everyone in this movie, this cast is like one of the most gorgeous casts ever.
Oh,
like
bet.
they aged so well. It was so
Morris
beautiful.
Chestnut in that?
Yes, he is. Tay Diggs is in it. Nia Long. Regina King. Regina Hall.
No, Regina King is the one in Scary Movie.
Regina King.
Or maybe it's the other way around.
See,
Regina Hall is the one in Scary Movie.
okay. I think, all right, but she's beautiful.
Yeah. They both are beautiful.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous cast, and everyone who hasn't seen it should see it. It was really well received when it came out.
And on that note, I just want to know, Erin, what are you doing for Christmas? What are your holidays?
Girl, I am going home tomorrow night. Yes. And I'll be there for 3 days. And then I'm actually flying back on Christmas Day, which will be interesting. But I can't wait to be home for Christmas. It's just, I'm going to like sit on the couch in front of the Christmas tree and watch all the movies just like time after time. And my dad and I are making everyone breakfast boards because when I was in Copenhagen, I like fell in love with these like breakfast fours is just like a wooden block that you eat breakfast on.
Oh,
So we're gonna make them for everyone and have that as our like Christmas breakfast. We do Christmas breakfast as like our
Oh, I
That's
love
really
that.
sweet.
yeah.
Aw.
So and like we still do Santa Claus. My parents are crazy.
Aw.
Wait, Santa, who
I mean, like
Santa
we do
Claus?
stockings. Like
Okay.
everyone kind of does. Like you leave your stocking out, and then like all through the night, people kind of like put presents in the stocking. But like it's from Santa, but it's from all like no one knows what they're getting in their stocking because everyone like contributes a little bit.
Cute.
Yeah.
Do you know it's like a thing to put oranges in stockings?
No.
Apparently that's a thing. Like it's for like good health.
Oh.
But anyways, I just want to say on that note, my parents never gave an effort to like keep Santa Claus alive in my heart.
Oh.
I left cookies out one year, and then I woke up the next morning and there was ants on the cookies. And I'm like, they couldn't even pretend that there was a Santa
Oh
Claus.
my
Like
God.
they didn't even realize they put cookies out.
That's so
I have to do one small story because you said that. I remember I asked my parents for a computer because every other family was getting a computer and I felt like I was left out. I was like, yo, they're doing their homework on computers now, guys. Let's get a computer. So it was for school. I get a note, like this is, I'm maybe 9 or 10, but like the idea of Santa, like I had already, like I knew this. I never believed in Santa, but he wrote me a note as Santa, my dad, and was like, Santa's, I would get you a computer, but your grades are not good enough.
Oh.
Love Santa. Oh, he like is like, here are these notebooks and pencils, like school supplies, so you can work on your grades.
Exactly.
We'll get that.
Oh
Who
my
else?
Oh my God.
savage.
I guess it makes a comeback. Like always trying to have the last word.
Always. Guys. Yo, he's a legend. Closing note, Karen, you wrote this beautiful note. I want you to have
Oh
the
my
opportunity
gosh.
to say
Well,
it.
first I just want to say thanks again to Erin Johnson.
Thank you.
The best Christmas head elf ever.
Yes.
I'm sure New York City misses you.
It better.
Okay, I'm sure all your families miss you. And guys, feel free to follow Erin Johnson on Instagram. Where can we find you?
Yes, at ej.sunshine.
Yes.
Sunshine. She's full of shenanigans.
It's true.
It's amazing. I just want to say the holidays are super stressful and they're tough, but they're also very beautiful. And I think, having this conversation, like a weekly conversation with you now, Nicole, has helped me address a lot of feelings that I've been going through this year. And I'm very appreciative of that. And I've come to the realization that even though a lot of people are going through so many things in the holidays and we're all spending it in a different way, it's okay to be alone. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to look for comfort in people that aren't your family. It's okay to find comfort in people that you might not necessarily are told are good for you.
Mm-hmm.
I found solace in I find solace in people that, a lot of other people would say are unhealthy relationships for me. But at the time, it's nice. I think the holidays is about peace for me, and where we find that peace is completely up to ourselves. And I just want to say happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays. Follow us on Instagram at Cinema Therapy Show on Instagram. And you can email show ideas, your thoughts, how much you love us, hate us. If you hate us, just ignore us. cinematherapyshow@gmail.com. Thank you, everyone.
And thank you to Jade Zabrick and Sky's Crescent
Yes,
Radio.
Sky's Crescent Radio. Bye.